Welcome. In front of me is a Motorola Edge 40, and today I will show you a couple tweaks and tricks you can do on this device. So to get started, we're going to open up settings, and in here we're going to begin by navigating into the display section where we will have a couple different things. So number one, we have the dark theme. It just puts the device into this dark mode. Now there's two different ways you can use this, either permanently like I just did, or by selecting a schedule, and we have a custom time or sunset to sunrise, and this will basically make it so the device switches between light and dark mode based on the provided time. Now going back and moving on to the next option is going to be the colors. Now this is a very simple one. It just allows you to change the color temperature or saturation of the display. I personally myself prefer natural. It just looks a little bit more toned down and realistic rather than, for instance, the saturated, which most of the time looks a little bit too overdone. So this is completely up to preference. If you really like the saturated, that's completely fine and stick with it. I do myself prefer the natural look. Now, sticking with the display, we have another thing, which is the display refresh rate. We have auto now. We have several options in here, which is very surprising. So auto basically fluctuates between, I believe, anywhere from like 30 frames, so I could be incorrect, all the way to 120 as it says. Even though this device could push 144 Hertz if you want to, but obviously, the higher the refresh rate, the more battery will be consumed. Now, to quickly go over this and what would be the best option right here, the auto will actually be the best option for majority of the people. Now, for those that don't really care about the nice, smooth, high refresh rate, you might want to change it to 60. This will give you a better battery life over the auto because the device won't need to push the 120 and will be doing half of that refresh rate instead whenever you're using it. Now, higher refresh rate will consume more battery life, so obviously the higher you go, the more battery you will use. But the benefit with the auto is, compared to like for instance, just 120 or 144, is that auto swaps between these refresh rates, while any one of those will be permanently running in this refresh rate all the time, full tilt, obviously consuming more battery while doing so. So that's why I'm recommending either going with 60 if you want battery life, or auto if you want basically a mixture of the two. Now moving on to next options, it's going to be under gestures. So let's navigate to gestures in the main settings, and in here we're going to start off with the sidebar. So this allows you to enable a sidebar similar to what Samsung has, and I believe Huawei as well. So it adds a sidebar which I personally cannot see because of the crappy tempered glass, so honestly let's just yoink that off. So prefer to see it, and there we go, we can actually see it now. It's right over here. So once you enable it, you can then pull it out like this. We do have a quick guide on how to use it. Now by default it will just provide us with a bunch of applications which we can add ourselves, and you can obviously quickly open them up. It opens them up in this nice pop-up view, so you can move it around. You can shrink it. Oops, if you shrink it too much, it just kind of goes away. There we go. You can full screen it if you want to, minimize it, and close it if you want to. I believe we should also be able to... Oh, it looks like we can't put it into split screen from here, unfortunately. But obviously, it's a pretty nice tool to have when you just need to multitask with two applications just for a moment. It allows you to quickly access, set up without much of a hassle. And yeah. Anyway, moving on to the next option, which we're gonna stick with the gestures. We have the system navigation right over here. So we can change to something like gesture nav if that is something that you want to utilize. I personally do like gesture nav myself, so that's what I will stick with. But additionally, apart from just enabling it in here, you can navigate into the settings, which allows you to also increase or decrease the sensitivity of the back gestures, so the ones that you basically utilize from either side. And when you start sliding it, there we go, it shows you this blue bar to signify what the margin of like it accepting it as a gesture is. So as long as your finger starts the gesture from that blue area, it will accept it as a gesture. If it does it but outside of it, obviously it will just think that you're trying to like swipe from side to side. And next thing down here is the navigation bar, which by default will be always enabled. It saves more, it provides no purpose apart from just visual like indicator, so I prefer to simply hide it. Now on Motorola, that is completely fine, you can hide it. If you may be using or looking at this and thinking that you're gonna use these or this specific tip in like other devices, specifically Samsung, I would discourage you from doing so. Samsung is absolutely dog shit when it comes down to hiding their gesture bar. For myself, as I use a Samsung device on a daily basis, it's absolutely unusable with this being hidden for no freaking reason. So I don't recommend changing that. But here it works just fine without it. As you can see, not a single problem. Now obviously if you experience that one hidden, it just starts to like not give you the home gesture when you swipe up, so it doesn't recognize it multiple times, then you might want to re-enable the bar. But like I said, this is a problem with Samsung, not really Motorola. So there we go. So anyway, if you found this very helpful, don't forget to hit like, subscribe, and thanks for watching.